That's one thing I've learned. Alright. For this question, we are going to do number 4. Right. Some of you may have been wondering what's happening. Okay, I just need to give you a background when it comes to quadratic equations. Now, quadratics, generally it's called quadratics. It's a very important subject in mathematics. That's why you're taught quadratic equations in terms of the foundation from grade 9. You do quadratic equations in grade 10. In grade 11, they get a little bit more complex, okay, for the final time. Because quadratic equations have got applications in other topics, in maths, rather advanced topics, where you can't do those topics without quadratics. So understanding quadratic equations will help you a lot. Later, I think next step we are going to do the quadratic function in grade 11, which is a little bit more complex than the grade 10 one. And you need to know everything that we have been doing so far. That's the foundation. So make sure you understand all the aspects that we discussed on quadratic equations. Not only for your test, but also to prepare you for the future. Okay? So number 4, I just need to emphasize this word here, root. Yesterday I told you that when we talk about roots, we are referring to the solutions of a quadratic equation. When you solve the quadratic equation, the answers that you get, in maths we call them roots. Okay? I understand that in the lower grades, the teacher didn't tell you that. Okay? But from now on, you need to be aware of that. The solutions to a quadratic equation are called roots. They are also called solutions in general. Okay? You can also call them solutions. They are also called the zeros of the quadratic equation. Okay? But generally for your curriculum, we may use roots or solutions. Okay? Later when we do the quadratic graph in grade 11, we call them the x-intercepts. Okay? All those names, they mean the same thing. Okay? So you don't have to get confused when you see this word root. You don't have to get confused. It's referring to the solutions of the quadratic equation. So here, the quadratic equation is not given in the general form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. It's not given in the general form because we don't know the value of n. We don't know the value of n. We have to find the value of n and then substitute that value and simplify until we get the general form of the quadratic function, or sorry, of the quadratic equation. Okay? That's why the question here has got 2 parts. First, I need to find what n is. Then second, I need to determine the second root because I'm given the first root. By first root, I'm saying the first solution to the quadratic equation. Remember, when you solve the quadratic equation, you get 2 solutions. So for this question, 1 is given, the second one is not given. So for you to be able to determine the second one, you need to know the value of the constant n. So we have to find n first. And finding n is not difficult. We use the root that's given, minus 1 and a third. We substitute where there is x. Remember, it's an x value. Don't forget that this minus 1 and a third is an x value. That's very important for you to know. It's an x value. The question won't tell you that it's an x value. You are expected to know that it's an x value. Okay?
So every time you get given the first degree for one of the answers, just substitute it.
Yes, just substitute the digit.
So it's just going to be like a normal.
Yes. So we substitute this value of x into the quadratic equation, then you simplify, you solve for n. Once you get the n, then you can be able to generate the original quadratic equation, which is of this form. Is that clear to everyone? So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm hoping that after what I have said, what I'm going to do here, if you had issues yesterday, the picture will become clearer in your head. Okay, so we are given nx squared minus n plus 1 times x minus 20 equals to 0. This is the quadratic equation with one root given. That root is minus 1 in the third. Okay, so this minus 1 in the third, I'm going to convert it to an improper fraction. It gives me minus 4 over 3. Okay, so where there is x, I'm going to put minus 4 over 3. You are in grade 11, I expect you to know that minus 1 in the third is the same as minus 4 over 3. You don't teach fractions in the FET phase. Okay, so this will be x squared minus n plus 1. Where there is x, I'll put minus 4 over 3. Minus 20 equals to 0. I have substituted this value. It's an x value. That root is an x value. So substitute into the equation. Okay? But first, I have to convert it from a mixed number to an improper fraction, which is what you were taught in grade 8 and 9. Okay? Then I need to simplify this. So it will be n times 16 over 9 minus. Now, this one here, simplifying this, you have to be extremely careful here. Okay? There's a minus here, then a 4 over 3 is negative. Because of this multiplication, this sign is going to end up changing to a plus. So I can multiply the minus 4 over 3 by n, but later also multiply by the negative 1. So allow me to do it this way. I'll put the minus, okay? I'm going to use a different color because this part is very important. You can easily make a mistake there. So I'm going to multiply the n by minus 4 over 3, and I'll get minus 4 over 3n. The 1 by minus 4 over 3, I'll get minus 4 over 3. And I'll put that in brackets. Okay? I have taken into account this minus here. In actual case, if you want, you can even put a bracket like this, a square bracket. To take into account of this minus, because it's so important for you to know how to deal with it. Okay, if you can't deal with it properly, you can end up with issues. Okay, let me move on quickly. So once you have done this, we write here minus 20 equals to 0. Then I'm going to simplify it. Yes. I multiply, remember this is a binomial, it's n plus 1. It's a binomial. So each term inside this binomial here, or each term of this binomial multiplies the minus 4. Okay? Then here we get 16 over 9n. Now I'm going to remove the bracket. If I remove the bracket, remember this is like the minus 1. So this minus 1 times minus 4 by n will give me a positive 4 over 3n. This minus and that minus give me a positive 4 over 3 minus 20 equal to 0. Okay? Any question? Do you have any question? If you don't have any question, then allow me to carry on. From here, you need to know that you now have a linear equation. This is a linear equation in one variable. The variable is going to be the n. Okay? So you need to know how to carry on finding the LCD. But before I do that, I would like terms. These two are like terms. Those two are also like terms. So I just need to simplify these two, or I can just find the LCD for everything. Okay? So there is more than one way of carrying on. Okay, for now, allow me to find the LCD. Okay, so we have 9 here, the denominator 3, 3, 1. So what will be our LCD? 9. So I'll multiply this by 3, this by 3. This by 3, that by 3. So each numerator and denominator for the second term, the third term, the last term I'll multiply by 9. The numerator and the denominator. Okay, our LCD is equal to, let me write it down, LCD is n. Okay, then moving on to the next page. If I move on to the next page, this 16 over 9 remains as it is. So I end up having 16 over 9 m plus Multiply by 3 here, get 9, multiply by 3, I'll get 12. So that will become 12n over 9 plus, okay, this will become 12 over 9, and then there's a minus there. Multiply this by 9, that by 9 is 1, minus 180. You obviously I'll have a 0 on there. On the right hand, yes.
Two questions. If you could be back to another thing. Aren't you putting in with the M?
No, this is the handwriting.
Right.
The handwriting is because of the pen. The pen sometimes is a little bit tricky. Okay. Just bear with me on that. Sometimes it's a bit tricky. This pen is not that easy to use. In actual fact, some teachers they don't even like to use it because you have to be patient sometimes.
So maybe there's a setting to make the actual writing like thinner. Then it will be more accurate. So you know what I mean?
Okay. Uh, so let's not make things complicated. So let me just erase this so that it cannot be interpreted otherwise. Okay. So we have got n, and this is a 12. That's a 12. Okay. So that's where we are.
If you know level over 9, you just drop the 9.
Yes. That's what I'm going to do now. So we end up having 16n plus 12, we get 27n. 28 rather. So this becomes 28n. Okay, if I subtract there, I'll get minus 168. This will be equal to 0. Okay, then write 28n is equal to 168. Then you divide both sides by 28. So you get n equal to what? N equal to what? N equal to 6. So once you find n, it becomes easier. I'm not done yet. I also need to go back okay, to find the what? The second root. Now to find the second root, I need to substitute that n, which is 6 here, and put the 6 there. So I'm going to rewrite it on the next page. So I'm going to move on to the next page. So it's going to be 6x squared minus 6 plus 1 times x, right? We just check there. Minus 20 minus 20 equal to 0. Then this will give me 6x squared minus 7x minus 20. That's equal to 0. Okay. I hope you are following me. Once we get to this point, right, coefficient of x is 6, constant term is minus 20. So 6 times minus 20, that will give me minus 120. Now I need two factors of minus 120 such that if I add them, I'll get minus 7. Two factors of minus 120 such that if I add them, I'll get negative 7. What do we need to find two factors of minus 120 such that if you add them, you get minus 7. So 15 and 8, but you need to be very specific now. Which one is positive, which one is negative? Minus 15 and positive what? Positive 8. So, we say 6x squared minus 15x plus 8x. That's minus 20 equal to 0. Are you following? Yeah. Everything that I'm doing next week, you need to know. You need to do. You'll be doing this all your own. Right? So that becomes 3, the common factor is 3, so we end up having 3x times 2x minus 5. Okay, I'm factorizing now by a common factor. In here, since I created 2x minus 5, I have to take 2x minus 5 here. So that will be positive 4 times 2x minus 5. And that's equal to 0. Okay? The common factor is a binomial, so I can write it 2x minus 5 times 3x plus 4. And already I'm smiling because the first root, I'll get it here. You see that? You all see that? The first root you get it here. We know that it's minus 4 over 3. I'll get it from there. Which means everything that I've done so far is correct. That's the beauty about maths, because sometimes if you do things right, you can see clearly that the answer is coming out. If you do things right. Okay? Then from here, we equate each binomial to 0. And then here, I'll get, they allow me to write it as 2x equal to 5, and the other one, 3x equal to minus 4. When I simplify here, I'll get x equal to 5 over 2, and the other one will be x equal to negative 4 over 3, which is the same as minus 1 and 1 in the back. Now, I'm not concerned about this one, I'm mainly concerned about that. That's our answer, second answer. Okay, that's the second root. The first root, this one here, plus even. Yes.
You use mixed, to convert to mixed fraction?
Okay, whichever way, even if you leave it as an improper fraction or you convert it to a mixed number, it's still the same thing. For this question, we are not concerned about this answer here, because it is given. Okay? So whether you leave it as an improper fraction mixed number is not a big deal. One mix. Okay. Right, any question?
How many marks in this whole question?
Well, this question here, it could be at least 5 marks. At least 5 marks. Yes.
So the different equation one set away from 20 to 0. Once you just factor all that.
Yeah, you can. You can factor that. You can factor that. You can move straight away from here to there. But the question is, do you know how to do it? What is the purpose of me? By now, I expect everyone to be aware of this. What is the purpose of me doing this? And doing that? Who can tell me why do I write it? Show you how I do it. Because many learners in the whole grade, about 100 what? If I'm not mistaken, that's someone 106 or so, if I'm not mistaken. I'll tell you that more than 50%, if you give them that trinomial, this trinomial, factorize this, the bulk won't be able to do it. Okay? I'm telling you from experience. Won't be able to do it. That's why consistently when I teach the quadratic equation, I have to show you how I got it. Because this technique is very, very important. It makes things easier for you. You will never go wrong. Okay. If I move from here straight away to there, I can do that. But someone will be asking, how did he get those two binomial? And I'm a teacher. The purpose of a teacher is to make you understand, each and every one of you to understand where I got my answer. The answer is not important, but how I got it. How did I get the answer? That's why I show you this. Show you all. And you must thank me for that. Right. Let me tell. But is there anybody else with another question? Right, I hope if you had issues yesterday, it's clearer. I hope so. Okay? Try my best to explain it as much as I could to make it as easy as possible. I hope that you have understood. Okay. So allow me to carry on to another aspect, right?